what's up, CP Nation? Listen, the first question I always get from my female clients is how to increase that butt size. So you know I had to bring Alexia out because she's going to get you out of gems. Do you understand why so many women want a bigger butt? Like, did you want a bigger butt? Do you agree with the BBL route?
Listen, ladies, the reason why you're not seeing the results or getting those gains that you want to in those glutes are because you're not hitting all 3 parts of those glutes. Today, I'm going to give you 7 tips to maximize those glute gains.
Let's get straight into it.
Each part that you should be hitting is the gluteus medius, gluteus maximus, and gluteus minimus. Make sure that you are prioritizing all those 3 when you're doing exercises, and that will get you your gains when it comes to resistance training. Lunges target all 3 of the muscles in the glutes and your quads. The lunges target the gluteus minimus, medius, and maximus. Leg press and good mornings target the gluteus maximus.
Yes, guys, Alexia is right. You want to make sure you're implementing sumo squats, lunges, leg press, barbell good mornings, RDLs. There's so many different ways to really target those glutes and those hamstrings.
Studies show that focusing on the eccentric part of the lift is good for muscle growth.
Focusing on the lowering part, going down 3 to 4 seconds is how you're going to really develop that muscle growth. You really don't want to rush through those movements. The more time and attention is the more stress and tension on the muscle that's going to allow you to really grow. Also, when you're trying to grow your glutes, how do you stay in shape while you're trying to gain weight?
I always make sure that I prioritize some form of cardio. I'm always drinking water 24/7. Water is really good. I make sure to get in my steps. And then overall, when it just comes to, like I said, my nutrition, I keep a good balance. Even though I do eat a little bit of junk, I mostly keep everything healthy overall. 80% healthy, 20% junk, okay?
How many steps per day do you walk?
For me, personally, probably around 5,000 to 10,000 steps a day.
Okay.
You're gonna need to eat in calorie surplus, meaning yes, you need more food, more calories in order to gain the weight. Second is, sometimes when you're eating more, you may gain a little bit of weight in the abdominal area, but that is okay, because then, once you cut, you'll be a little more slim, thick looking.
Like, you understand why so many women want a bigger butt? Like, did you want a bigger butt? Like, why do so many people want a bigger butt?
So personally, I feel like I was genetically already kind of born with a little bit of oomph, but of course I did have to do work to maximize it a little bit. Lots of women, I feel, of course, want that butt because, of course, it looks good, and of course we know that's what the men like to see, and it just looks good overall with the body. You can't just have everything else and then just a flat butt.
Do you agree with the BBL route?
I do not agree with BBL. I think you should get it naturally and also just be happy with how you look and who you are.
So you do believe that like doing a calorie surplus can really help increase glute size?
Yes, I do. I've, of course, experienced it on my own as a trainer. It took some time, but we are here, and I am actually still working on that.
Okay. So yes, guys, it's very important that when you're in that calorie surplus, you're consuming enough protein. And the easy rule of thumb is to make sure you're having 1 gram of protein per body weight. The rest of your macronutrients can go towards your carbs and your fats. So I always recommend, let's say if you're a 150-pound woman, it's easy rule of thumb, 150 grams of protein, and then the rest of your macronutrients can go to your carbs. And you want to make sure your fats are within the 20% of your macronutrient breakdown. And remember, guys, your macronutrient breakdown is a breakdown of your protein, fats, and carbs. And if what I'm saying doesn't make sense to you, I'll provide a link in the description below. So make sure you click that link and you can enter in your height, weight, and it'll provide you with the breakdown of your macronutrients.
Also, make sure that you are tracking your calories. That is very important. You can use MyFitnessPal or any other tracking apps to do that.
I was just gonna ask you that. So with tracking your calories, like, did you notice a big difference when you started tracking your calories to gain weight?
Yes, so again, my goal was to gain weight, and I'm trying to eat at least 2,500 calories a day. And as I'm trying to do that, it is hard. Every day I usually do hit the calorie goal, but there are some days that I fall short. But after doing that, I see how much, like he said, in macronutrients, how much protein, carbs, and fats I'm taking in, and it really does help you, and to help you just stay on track with calculating your food.
And I feel like oftentimes, especially, with the women, we see it a little bit more with women and men as well. But I feel like a lot of times people use calorie surplus in this weight gain process as a chance to eat a bunch of junk food. When you're doing your calorie surplus, it's still nutrient-dense food, or do you eat a little bit more processed food?
It is still nutrient dense, but I'm not gonna lie, I at least take 20% out of that diet, and I do eat a little bit of junk here and there. And like I said, on days that are just very busy and I'm just trying to get that food in, I will just eat kind of anything. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
yeah, because she was just out last night, eating good.
I got really, really good. Probably over 1,000 calories for that meal.
So listen, guys, if you're confused, if you're new to fitness, you've never been to the gym before, your boy got you. I'm gonna provide you guys with my free fitness ebook. All you have to do is email me the word ebook at contentperformance@gmail.com, and I'm gonna send it to you in the next 24 to 48 hours. Again, guys, email me the word ebook at contentperformance@gmail.com, and I'm gonna provide you with a free fitness ebook. It's gonna be a guide. It's gonna give you meal prep options. It's gonna give you step count. It's gonna give you a progressive overload training. And guess what? It's all body weight, so you don't even have to go to the gym. So make sure you tap in with that. Step four. Listen, guys, you want to make sure you're training to technical failure. This is something I see all the time with men and women. I see so many men, they lift the heaviest weight in the world, and they shouldn't be doing it. Their form is terrible. And then with women, their weight is on point, it's perfect, and they actually need to increase their weight. So listen, if you really want to develop muscle, you really want to grow those glutes, it's really important that you're pushing yourself and you're lifting heavies. I see so many women a lot of times, they could increase their weight by 30, 40 pounds. If everything you're doing, if it's super light, you're not pushing yourself. You should be 2 to 3 reps shy to failure. If your 10th rep feels like your 5th or 6th rep, that's not enough.
I definitely do agree on that. You definitely should be pushing yourself. So like he said, if you're doing a certain weight and you're able to at least do 3 sets of 10 reps of that weight, then you definitely should be upping your weight at least 5 to 10 pounds. There is no need to keep on doing that because you already have seen and shown yourself that you can do that weight. So definitely add. Even if it's by 5 pounds, just add the weight.
Yes, guys. And again, I'm not saying you have to max out. I'm not saying that your last rep should be failure, but you should be 2 to 3 reps shy, because studies show you can still develop that muscle, still get muscle growth, still doing 2 to 3 reps shy. You don't have to push yourself close where you almost feel like you're going to hurt yourself, but you really want to pick a challenging weight, because a lot of you guys are just not challenging yourself enough in the gym. And I always tell people all the time, if you can have a conversation like how we're having a conversation right now in the gym, then you're not pushing yourself hard enough. Your heart rate should be up and you should be moving. And that's how you're really going to develop those glutes. And that's step 4.
So ladies, it is definitely important to at least work legs, especially if you're trying to promote that muscle growth, at least 2 to 3 times a week. And every time you're working legs, of course, you want to give yourself at least 48 to 72 hours in between just to recover. Make sure that those muscles, of course, can relax and come back again for your next leg day, and you can go strong. And you know what? Yeah. The reason why I laugh is because I remember this girl. She used to train her legs every single day in the gym. And I'm like, what in the world are you doing? This girl never did upper body. She's not giving herself time to recover, and she wasn't getting the growth that she wanted. I see that's very common. I see so many women in the gym all the time, just legs, and they're never working on other body parts. Do you see that a lot? Absolutely. And some people don't understand that you should have split days, meaning on a specific day you're working upper, the next day you're working lower, the next day you're doing core, and so on. You definitely need to make sure that you have split days during your workouts.
Yes, guys, because there's so much going on. You have your bro splits and you have your full body split days and, different things like that. I highly recommend, like Alexia said, having those split days where you can target different muscle parts and you're giving yourself time to recover, because the volume is just your sets and your reps, and how intense the workouts are. That's going to give you enough time to recover. Obviously, you don't want to work it once a week because that won't be enough to get enough muscle results, but doing it 2 times is surely sufficient enough. And some people actually see great results from just training legs once a week. So depending on how much weight you're lifting, depending on how hard you're pushing yourself, I do have times. I did a glute and hamstring workout last week with my boy Johnny B. My legs was hurting for a week. I mean, I didn't really fully recover until the day before. The next time it was time for me to do glutes and hamstrings. So guys, this is one of the type of situations where less is actually more, and that's step 5. You need to get more depth. A lot of you guys go in the gym and you're I don't know what you're doing. The deeper you get, you know, I'm not saying you have to go below parallel, but you want to make sure you're getting enough depth, because the more depth you get, that increases your knee flexion, and with more knee flexion, increases more muscle growth. A lot of y'all drop below at the club, but don't want to drop below in the weight room. So, what's your thoughts, Alexia?
Absolutely. Range of motion is definitely important. The lower you go, like he said, the more power and stress you're going to put on those muscles to, you know, get them to grow and so on. So, like he said, make sure that you're doing your best to just get as low as you can. Of course, stretching, and of course, dynamic stretching, of course, which is, of course, moving in different planes of motion is really good to help with that flexibility. And start simple, just doing little things like squats, side lunges.
Exactly. So just always remember, you know, lower and slower. Slower being the time and attention, the tut, which is what we talked about previous, you know, that 3 to 4 second negative, and then making sure you're getting lower to really increase that glute size. And I promise you guys will see these results, man.
It's so very important. Sleep. I know many of you have to work long hours at work. You know, you have long days, and then by the time you get home, you might have to eat and do all those other things, and then boom, you're up all night still probably finishing something from work, getting only, 5 to 6 hours of sleep. I'm letting you know that sleep is probably one of the #1 things you need for muscle growth and to get the results that you need. You should be aiming to get at least 7 to 8, 8 to 9 hours on a good day, if you can, of sleep, in order to really, you know, feel fueled and ready to go for the next day.
Yeah, guys, I can't stress it enough. Now listen, I fall short of this a lot of times. You know, I'm always busy shooting content, editing videos for you guys. But yeah, sleep is very, very important. I noticed a difference. Like, you know, last night, for example, I finally got some good sleep, and I just feel charged up and ready to attack the weights today in the gym. But oftentimes, you know, when I get 4 hours or 5 hours of sleep, you know, I'm exhausted. The weights feeling heavy. I don't want to be there. I don't want to lift weights. My attitude may not even be the best. So I highly recommend getting your sleep, because what a lot of you guys don't know is when you go inside the gym, that's to tear your muscles down. When you go to sleep, that's when your muscles actually recover. That's when you actually get stronger. So listen, guys, make sure you guys are getting that sleep, man. All right, guys, man, listen, I hope those 7 tips was what you needed to really help get right, because that's what you're going to need to get the glutes and hamstrings. Thanks for tapping in. Again, guys, make sure you guys check out the ebook. Email me your ebook at contentperformance@gmail.com, and I'm going to shoot that right over to you. Alexia, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely. Thank you all for having me.
Yeah, you know, we had to get right, man. We had to get right. As usual, if you guys haven't subscribed already to the page, I don't know what you're doing. Make sure you follow us on social media, man, and stay tapped in. Content Performance, we out.
See ya.